Hello everyone, take your seats, grab your popcorn, and stay locked in because what you're about to witness is a political takedown like no other. Bill Maher isn't just criticizing Kamala Harris' campaign, he's dismantling it piece by piece. From the immigration crisis to soaring inflation and a lack of clear answers, the Democratic Party continues to act as if nothing is wrong. But here's where it gets even more intense. Donna Brazile jumps in to defend Harris and Maher isn't having it. His reaction is sharp, his analysis is unfiltered, and the fallout? Let's just say it's sending shockwaves through political circles. Stay tuned because once Maher starts talking, there's no turning back. Buckle up, he's exposing the cracks in Harris' campaign, and the verdict isn't pretty. Let's break it all down.
Well, first of all, first of all, we had a primary.
I don't know, but it doesn't sound good.
Joe and Kamala did win enough delegates. 14 million people participated in it, and we should not disenfranchise those Americans. So Kamala Harris and Joe Biden won the hearts and minds of the American people, as well as the Electoral College, yet they were never given a mandate to do anything. But
you
they
mean Hillary? Hillary won.
No, Hillary
won the popular vote. So we actually have elected a woman. Yeah. It's just that our stupid system, the way we play the game, she didn't get elected. But we can't say that the country, and also the votes are now finally all in for this election. Kamala Harris lost by your mustache hair. That like this much. It's so close.
Always.
So, right.
You know, Bill, you said everyone at the table said something false. What did you say that was false?
Nothing. As ever.
Border policies stayed loose, frustration grew, and when Vice President Kamala Harris finally had to respond, she had nothing. No plan, no defense, not even a rehearsed talking point. Bill Maher calls it out bluntly, pointing out that the administration could have acted years ago. Yet when they finally did, right before election season, it raised one big question. Why now? If an executive order could fix it in 2024, why not earlier? Harris's silence wasn't just noticeable, it was political malpractice. Voters saw through it, public opinion shifted, and rather than addressing the issue, she dodged it. Maher argues that this wasn't just a misstep, it was a campaign killer. Then comes the twist. Donna Brazile steps in to defend Harris, and that's when Maher lets loose. Inflation wasn't just a talking point, it shaped the election. Americans felt it everywhere. Groceries, gas, rent, and yet Harris stayed silent. No clear stance, no strong messaging, just avoidance. In politics, silence is a losing strategy. Maher suggests Harris became the face of progressive overreach, alienating voters. But was it bad policy or just bad messaging? Either way, Maher is clear. It cost her. And just as he's exposing the cracks, Brazile tries to spin the story. But Maher isn't letting it slide. Stay tuned because it only gets better from here.
Isn't fair. It's not fair that she's not popular. She's intelligent and accomplished, and in fact was put in charge of the border. And look at how... Okay, bad example.
The Democratic Party might finally have to face reality one step at a time. But Donna Brazile, she's ready to spin the narrative. According to her, Harris' campaign wasn't a failure. Everything was just fine. Bill Maher isn't buying it, and neither is the audience. Maher tears apart the idea that Harris' struggles were just a perception problem. This wasn't bad PR, it was bad strategy. Voters didn't reject her because of optics, they rejected her because of real failures on immigration, inflation, and messaging. Brazile's insistence that everything was fine isn't just misleading, it's political denial at its peak. And here's the real issue. This denial goes beyond Harris. Maher argues it's a party-wide problem, a refusal to admit mistakes, course-correct, and actually listen to voters. But how long can the Democratic Party ignore the warning signs before it all comes crashing down? At what point does wishful thinking turn into political self-destruction? According to Maher, they've already crossed that line, and it's costing them. Instead of adjusting, party leaders are doubling down, insisting voter frustration is overblown and Harris' campaign was simply misunderstood. But Maher isn't having it. He calls this level of denial not just out of touch, but politically suicidal. And here's the kicker. It's not just about Harris. This refusal to face reality is creating a massive disconnect between Democratic leaders and the voters they need to win. If they don't wake up soon, Maher warns, 2024 could bring a harsh reality check, one they won't be able to spin their way out of.
Harris is going to win, but I can't say I'm not nervous that the election is in the hands of a small cohort of undecided voters, those curious few bisexuals of the political world. Oh, everybody loves to mock, but I see it as more of a personality thing. I call them the Christmas.
Kamala Harris' campaign isn't just about one politician. It's a symptom of the larger problem within the Democratic Party. When leaders refuse to acknowledge failures, dismiss voter concerns, and prioritize saving face over self-reflection, they don't just lose elections, they lose trust. Maher's warning is clear. Denial is a losing strategy. Immigration, inflation, and messaging weren't just Harris' weak spots. They were signs of a party-wide issue. If Democrats don't course-correct soon, they could face an election-night shock they never saw coming. So here's the real question. Is Maher right? Is the party ignoring reality, or is this just media spin? Let's hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments.
That's not fair.
First of all, we had a primary.
I don't know, but it doesn't sound
Joe and Kamala did win enough delegates. 14 million people participated in it, and we should not disenfranchise those Americans. So Kamala Harris and Joe Biden won the hearts and minds of the American people, as well as the Electoral College, yet they were never given a mandate to do anything. But they
Hillary won.
No, Hillary
won the popular vote. So we actually have elected a woman. It's just that our stupid system, the way we play the game, she didn't get elected. But we can't say that the country, and also the votes are now finally all in for this election. Kamala Harris lost by your mustache hair. That like this much. It's so close.
Always.
So, right.
You know, Bill, you said everyone at the table said something false. What did you say that was false?
Nothing. Nothing. As ever.